I fell in love at first sight. People say love at first sight isn't real. I used to agree. After all, how could you possibly love someone you'd never spoken to? Then I met Jenny. My name is Michael Wong. Everyone calls me Mike. At 32, I was the chief solutions architect for one of Singapore's fastest-growing AI software companies. I loved solving complicated business problems. Human emotions? Those weren't part of my job description. One Friday evening, my company sponsored a charity gala at the Fullerton Hotel. I wasn't looking for love. I was looking for the dessert table. Unfortunately, someone else had exactly the same idea. We both reached for the final chocolate mousse. Our hands touched. She looked up. "I'll let you have it." I smiled. "No. I insist." She laughed. "So we're arguing over dessert? I believe it's a matter of principle." She tilted her head. "What principle?" "I haven't decided yet." She burst into laughter. "You sound like a lawyer." "I'm an engineer." "Oh. That explains everything." "And what does that mean?" "You people solve problems that don't exist. We create efficiency. You make instruction manuals longer." I laughed harder than I had all week. She picked up the mousse. "I'll solve this." She found another spoon. "We share. I like your negotiation skills. I'm in marketing. That explains yours." I was in love. Before dessert. For the next hour we talked. About travel. Books. Bad movies. Hawker food. The best kopi in Singapore. Her name was Jennifer Tan. Everyone called her Jenny. She was the regional marketing director for a hospitality group, responsible for launching luxury hotels across Southeast Asia. She was creative, quick-witted, warm. By the end of the evening, I had forgotten there were another 300 people in the ballroom. My colleague nudged me. "Mike. You've been smiling for an hour." "I have. You've also ignored your CEO twice." I looked across the room. Jenny was laughing with someone. At that exact moment, she looked back at me, smiled, and somehow, I knew. I was in trouble. The wonderful kind. Anyway, 3 days later we met for coffee. Jenny arrived 5 minutes late. "I'm sorry. There was traffic. I've prepared a spreadsheet proving Singapore traffic isn't predictable." She stared. "You made a spreadsheet?" "I may have." She laughed. "You engineers are adorable. We're efficient." "No. You're adorable." She leaned forward. "I have a question." "What?" "If we ever go grocery shopping, will you make an Excel file?" "I already have one." She laughed so loudly everyone turned. "You actually do? It color codes vegetables." She wiped away tears. "I've just met the most organized man in Singapore." Then again, Jenny believed recipes were suggestions. I believed recipes were instructions. She cooked by instinct. I measured salt with digital scales. One Saturday she invited me to cook. She added garlic. A little more. Then butter. A little more. Then cream. A little more. I looked horrified. "There's no measurement." She smiled. "My grandmother taught me. How much is a little?" She shrugged. "When your ancestors whisper." I stared. "My ancestors use measuring spoons." Dinner tasted amazing. I refused to admit it. Now let me tell you about our umbrella incident. As you know, Singapore's weather changed instantly. We were halfway across Marina Bay when rain poured. Jenny opened her tiny handbag. Inside, a tiny umbrella. It was barely big enough for one person. She smiled. "We'll fit." "We absolutely won't." We tried anyway. Half our shoulders were soaked. I hope you enjoyed this story so far. It was created by Pearl. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes in second chances. Here, we're honored to bring you stories of hope, love, and the resilience of the human spirit. A tourist laughed. "You two need a bigger umbrella." Jenny replied. "No. We're practicing teamwork." What memories. So 3 months later, it was time. Dinner with both families. I was nervous. Jenny wasn't. My parents are lovely. So are mine. The restaurant door opened. My mother froze. Jenny's mother froze. Then, both women screamed. "Linda? Rose?" They hugged. My father stared. Peter? David? They started laughing too. Jenny and I looked at each other. What is happening? My mother turned to us. You never told us her surname. Jenny's father laughed. We all grew up together. I blinked. You knew each other? My dad smiled. When we were your age. Jenny's mum pointed at my father. He used to ride a motorcycle. Dad groaned. Oh no. Mum laughed. He thought he looked handsome. I did. You looked like a greasy chicken. Everyone burst into laughter. Our parents tell their stories. Apparently. Our parents had been inseparable friends in university. My father studied engineering. Jenny's father studied architecture. Our mothers were both nursing students. Every weekend they met for copy. One evening my mum smiled mischievously. Your father once tried to impress me. Dad covered his face. Please don't. He borrowed his friend's guitar. Jenny asked, could Uncle play? Mum smiled. No. He only knew one chord. Dad sighed dramatically. I was hoping that story had disappeared. Jenny laughed. I suddenly understand Mike. So history repeats itself. From that day onward, family dinners became comedy nights. Our parents constantly compared us. Mike organizes everything. Just like Peter. Jenny changes plans every 5 minutes. Exactly like Rose. One afternoon Dad whispered. You know, I fell in love with your mum the first time I saw her. Jenny's father nodded. So did I. Everyone became quiet. He quickly added, with my wife. The room erupted. My dad laughed so hard he nearly spilled his tea. You almost got yourself into trouble there. One evening, Jenny and I walked along East Coast Park. She looked at me. Do you believe in love at first sight now? I smiled. I didn't. What changed? You. She squeezed my hand. I think our parents knew before we did. I nodded. They kept smiling every time they looked at us. They were remembering. Remembering what? Themselves. A year later. Our families gathered again. This time, for what everyone believed was my birthday dinner. Halfway through dessert. Dad stood. I have a speech. Everyone laughed. Mum whispered, he always has one. Dad smiled. 35 years ago. I met the love of my life. He looked at Mum. I knew almost immediately. Jenny's father stood too. And 35 years ago. I watched these two fall in love. He pointed at my parents. Today. We've had the privilege of watching history repeat itself. The room became silent. I stood. Walked towards Jenny. You know. The first time we met. We argued over chocolate mousse. She laughed. You lost. I let you win. Oh really? I was already trying to impress you. She smiled. I knew. I reached into my jacket. Held a small velvet box. My parents found each other. Your parents found each other. And somehow, their friendship brought us together too. I knelt on one knee. Jenny. I believed love at first sight was impossible. Until I saw you reaching for dessert. The room laughed softly. Now I can't imagine a single day without you. Will you marry me? Jenny laughed through happy tears. I've been waiting for you to ask ever since you gave me half your chocolate mousse. She nodded. Yes. Absolutely yes. The room erupted into applause. My father wiped away a tear. Jenny's father smiled. Well, I suppose our children inherited more than our good looks. My mother looked at him. Good looks? Everyone laughed. Jenny leaned close and whispered. Our families have been making each other laugh for 35 years. I smiled. Let's make it another 35. She kissed my cheek. Deal. Update. The wedding became more than the union of two people. It became the reunion of two lifelong friendships. During his speech, Mike's father held up an old university photograph. There they all were, four young friends in their 20s, laughing together without any idea what the future held. Then he held up a recent photograph of Mike and Jenny, smiling in almost the same way. He looked at the guests and said, people often ask whether love at first sight is real. I don't know. But I do know this. Sometimes life lets one generation write the first chapter. So the next generation can write an even happier ending. As everyone applauded, Mike looked at Jenny and smiled. One shared chocolate mousse. One unexpected conversation. And one glance across a crowded ballroom had become a lifetime together. Sometimes, love really does happen at first sight. You just don't realize until your parents start laughing. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. It was created by Pearl. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes in second chances. Here at Drama Spark, we're honored to bring you stories of hope, love, and the resilience of the human spirit.